right now, here you and I are sitting here in this table, in this room, is entirely conditioned form of existence, by which I mean it is, but it doesn't have to be. I could have missed the ride up here today. You could have gotten sick. This thing could have fallen on the table. It could be 1,000 degrees and we'd be incinerated. It could be 1,000 degrees below zero. We'd be frozen. Like there are a million things that make this set of affairs real, but it doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be the case. So how do you explain that? Well, you can't appeal endlessly to other contingent things. You have to come, finally, to some reality whose very nature is to be. That's not contingent, not finite, not evanescent, not dependent, but whose very nature is to be.
Bishop Barron is appealing here to one of the classic arguments for the existence of God, the argument from contingency. This argument starts by appealing to the common sense notion called the principle of sufficient reason, which says that for everything that exists, there must be a reason sufficient to explain how it exists and why it exists as it does. This reason for a thing existing as it does could either be found in something outside of that thing, in which case that thing would be contingent, or in something inside that thing, in which case it would be necessary. Everything we see around us in the world, though, is contingent. Everything we see in the world has its explanation for its existence in something outside of it. But if everything was like that, it would ultimately leave us with no reason sufficient to explain why anything exists at all, since we could always keep asking, what's the reason this thing exists, back to infinity, no matter how far back we go. Therefore, there must exist something which is necessary, something which has its explanation for its existence in its very nature, whose very nature includes existence. But a being whose very nature is his existence is exactly what classical Christian theology means when it talks about God. Therefore, God exists.